everybody. Here we are. I am 3 days before 6 weeks, so pretty much 6 weeks post-op. And this is where we are. You can see it has dropped a lot. It went from like being up here to down here. I'm gonna try to give y'all a little sneak peek of where I am. It's not as square. My nipples are all the way down here, so it actually looks really good, like really good. So I am a C because I wanted to be a D, but he was like, I can get you a C, and I was like, that's great. I'm okay with that because I'm big. I'm small, so I don't really need anything too big. A little tipsy, so got me my wine, drinking Riesling. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill y'all in on what I've been going through for the last month, because I think the last time I talked to y'all was at almost 2 weeks post-op. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the things that I've been going through and things I've conquered and what I've realized and all of that. So let's go ahead and jump in. Oh yeah, also I said that I was gonna fill y'all in on the pre-op appointment because that was a journey. Where should I start? Pre-op journey? Or yeah, let's start pre-op. We're gonna go in chronological order. Okay. So pre-op day. I know I woke up, my pre-op appointment is supposed to be at 8:30, and I sat in the waiting room for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I don't know. I was sitting in that waiting room for a long time. And when I first walked in the door, it was like 10 different girls sitting in the lobby, and we were all socially distanced. There were 2 girls sitting there talking about their experience. Like there was one girl who had been there before, so I'm guessing she was there for her post-op, but it was definitely like a long time since she had her surgery because she wasn't hurting like some of the girls who were there for their post-op were walking around, limping around with bandages and draining tubes for their Brazilian butt lifts. But she said that she had a Brazilian butt lift there before, so I don't know exactly why she was there. But she was talking to some other girl because she was getting ready to get hers done, and she was telling her, what to expect. So just hearing them talk to each other kind of made me feel comfortable. I was just in my phone the whole time on Snapchat and YouTube waiting for my turn. So they finally called me up and they were like, okay, here's your checklist, pay your remaining balance. And I don't think I had a balance actually. They were making sure I didn't have a balance actually. That's what happened. So they gave me a checklist. It was like 10 different things in that checklist for me to have done that day. So that would let me know, okay, this is where I am in today's appointment, and these are the things I need to do. I was there for like 4 hours. So when I first got to the desk, she was like, okay, you can go ahead and head back. And I was like, okay. Like she talked to me like I had been there before, so it was kind of strange. I was just like, the back. So I just walked to where I saw all the other girls were walking, which were the girls for post-op. They were walking to the post-op area. I didn't know where it was. It was like 2 different sides of the center. So I walked back there, and then this nurse was like, oh yeah, you're supposed to go through the other door. And I was like, what? So I found the other door, which was right next to the front desk. I didn't know that's what they were talking about because they didn't even give me directions. But anyways, so I went back there, and then there were like 6 more girls sitting back there waiting. I'm like, what is going on? There's so many girls just waiting around. So I sat down and just waited for my turn again, and that's when they put me in like this little desk area to fill out this thick ass booklet of shit. Like it was just so thick. I felt like I was getting ready to take a test for like the SAT or something. Like it was so much to read. I swear I was like skimming through them shits. Like it was pretty much going over everything that I already knew about the surgery. Like, if you smoke or, the potential of losing the feeling in your nipples and things that can occur. Just all the risks pretty much were in that paperwork. And I already knew all of that. So it's just like redundant, but I swear that booklet was like 60 pages long. Like at first I started actually reading word for word, and then after like 20 minutes I was like, bruh, like fuck all this, I'm trying to go. Like, I've already been here for like an hour at this point. So I started reading like the first sentence and like the last sentence of each paragraph because I was over it. And then like it was 4 different desks and they had us 6 feet apart with like a clear divider in front of us for like, I guess, social distance, like virus. I don't know why exactly they had the clear plastic because we were 6 feet apart. And then there was like a nurse sitting on this little tiny little stool. She was just waiting on each of us to finish so she could come over and go over everything that we pretty much signed off. I finished my booklet and the lady, she came over to me and she pretty much went over everything that I had checked off or signed off, and just made sure everything was done right. And after that, she took me to a little bench outside of those 4 desks. It wasn't too far off. It was just a little bit over there. And I sat there, waited like 5 minutes this time. It wasn't that long. And this lady came and got me, and she took my pictures of before. It didn't take long at all. Like, it took like 5 minutes. I literally took off my clothes, or took off my top half at least, and she took my picture. And then she took me back out, and I sat on that same bench, waited another maybe 10 minutes. And then this next lady came out of her office, and she took me in to check my blood pressure, weigh me, and just, you know, make sure I was I would say healthy enough for the surgery. Now, at the time, she told me to take my shoes off to get weighed, and I think that made my blood pressure go up because I was also nervous. And when she did my blood pressure was high. So she was just like, don't eat salty or fried foods tonight. We want to make sure that you are healthy for tomorrow, because if your blood pressure is high tomorrow, then we can't perform the surgery. So I was like, okay. So I definitely took that into consideration, because that night I ate sweet potatoes. I ate everything. Like, I Googled things to keep my blood pressure low because I was not trying to risk all this hard work that I have put in. So I made sure that my blood pressure was not high the next day. But yeah, I think my blood pressure was also high because she had just told me to take off my shoes. Like, that was a lot of work. I had on Nikes, and I don't mess up my shoes. So I was like trying to hurry up at the same time because I feel like she was rushing, and I was like, I need to hurry up and get out of here at the same time. So I feel like that's why my blood pressure was high, because she didn't give me much time to, like, between taking off my shoes and, like, I don't know, it was just a lot. And she did say that it was probably because of my nerves, so she did take that into consideration. But I can't be too mad at her because there was so many girls. Like, the place was jumping, like, girls on girls on girls coming in and out of that place. Like, I'm like, whoa, Miami is really the capital for surgery. So yeah, after that I went back out and waited like 5 minutes, and some other lady came and got me, and she took me to the other side of the center, which is where they do lab test results, things of that nature. And at this point, I think I've had like 3 things checked off of my 10 to-do list. And I went back over there, and I swear I waited over there for like 30 minutes, and it was like 10 other girls sitting over there waiting on their turn. It was so many girls in this office. Like, what? I was not ready for so many people to be there. And there were also, like, I'm gonna say like 2 different guys I saw. One guy, I don't know what exactly he had done. Maybe like lipo, I'm not sure. And then there was the other guy, I feel like he might have had lipo too. But they were looking really good. I feel like they were there for their post-op, and they were looking good. So I was happy to see some guys getting their work done too, because, you know, everybody has goals. So yeah, I waited back there for like 30 minutes, and then that's when I get a phone call on my phone from the plastic surgery office. I'm like, why are they calling me? I'm in the office. What? So I answered the phone, and I'm like, hi. And they're like, is this Brianna? I'm like, yeah, I'm in the office. And they're like, oh, good, you're here. And I was like, duh. But anyways, and they were like, so, about your surgeon. Your surgeon, he can't perform your surgery, but we found someone else to perform your surgery. His name is Dr. Hassan. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Because at this point, like, I'm so far into the adventure, I was just like, somebody's going to perform the surgery. Like, I didn't even really know the initial person that was going to do my surgery, so I was really winging it, like, to be honest. But let me tell you about my initial surgery. Dr. Bellina was supposed to be my initial surgeon, And then 3 days before my flight, they called me and told me, or I got an email, and they told me that she had a death in her family, and I am sorry to hear that. So she would be out of the office for like the next week or two. And then they would like call up here so that we can try to either get you a different surgeon or reschedule you. And at that point, I was on the clock. I was working, and I was panicking because like I literally had a flight in 3 days. I was stressed out because all of this is happening. So I called up there, and this nice guy, he's the first guy I ever talked to over the phone. He was like, I'm gonna find you a surgeon. He had me on hold for like 15 minutes, and I was so nervous because I thought that they were gonna make me reschedule my surgery, and that was really stressful because I had already scheduled my flight. I had already booked my hotel. Like, I had did everything. I was ready to go. So my dog's back there barking. If you can hear her little loud mouth, I'm gonna go get her in a little bit so y'all can see her. Hold on a second. Okay.
Mama got me a new face wash.
Good. That's really good. I'm happy. I saw you need face mask too. You like
It can't.
It's too big for your head, or too little for your head.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stretch it out, make it fit over. You can't put it on with this on too. That's too much. Go over there so I can do my video, okay?
You already started.
I know. So sit over there. Okay, so back to the story. I was talking about how they were rescheduling my surgeons. So yeah, pretty much they called me I called them, and the guy that was on the phone, he was like, yeah, so we have you a new surgeon. His name is Dr. Thomas Payne. And I was like, okay, cool. And all of these names I were familiar with because I had did so much research like for almost 8 months before the surgery. So I was like looking up all the surgeons, and I was familiar with all these names, honestly. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I was really happy that they could get me a surgeon on the exact same day that I was originally scheduled. So that just made me feel so much better. I was like thanking God, because when I got that email that she couldn't do my surgery, oh my God, I was like freaking out. I couldn't even focus on work anymore because I was like, bruh, I have so much invested into this, and I didn't get airport insurance, so I was stressed out. But yeah, so when I was back to the pre-surgery appointment, at the appointment they called me, of course, and they were like, yeah, so Dr. Payne, he can't do your surgery, but we got you a different surgeon, Dr. Hassan. Dr. Hassan, I don't know if y'all know about Dr. Hassan, but he is probably one of the best surgeons for their clinic. And to know that he was doing, at the time I didn't know who he was, but like after they called me and told me he was my surgeon, I went back and I was like, oh, Dr. Hassan, like he's the first one on the list. That's how you know he's the guru. And like when I went around to all the different offices, like in the office, they were like, who's doing your surgery? And I told them Dr. Hassan. They were like, Dr. Hassan, like, do you know who he is? Like, and I was like, no, I don't know who he is, but he sounds great. And they're like, he does great work. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then this one guy, he was like, I gotta show you some of his work. I gotta show you. So he like pulled up some pictures of his work, and he was like, you see this? This is great. And I was just like, yeah, it's great. But you know, in plastic surgery terms, they were like lit about Dr. Hassan. So that made me feel a lot better because they didn't know that he was just assigned to me. They were just like, that's who's doing your surgery? Like, you're lucky as fuck. So yeah, that made me feel better. So yeah, I waited back there for like another 10 minutes. Oh yeah, on that phone call, they told me the surgeon was changed. They told me to come back to the front because Dr. Hassan requires that he does his surgery through the belly button. And at the time, I didn't know exactly where they were going to do my incisions. Like, it could have been here, under here, through my armpits, around my areola. I didn't know. But because of my skin condition, I am so glad that they went through my belly button. I'm going to show y'all my belly button. This is 6 weeks post-op. And I still have a little bit of whiskers. I call them whiskers, but they're stitches. Bird, don't be going back there being loud. I still have some stitches sticking out of my belly button, but My scab is peeling, so it's definitely healing really good, and I'm really glad that I got it done right here because I feel like because I'm so small, my skin, I don't have much skin to spare. So like I do small maneuvers like getting up or sitting down. Small things make me stretch my skin. And I feel like if I would have had this surgery incision right here, I would have pulled my stitches, like for sure. Because I don't be intentionally doing the most, but somehow I do, just because I'm so small. So I'm so glad I got it done through here. It was God. God knew that I needed Dr. Hassan to do this surgery through my belly button. And it all worked out. I swear it worked out perfectly. So yeah, they were like, yeah, Dr. Hassan requires you to do the surgery through the belly button. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And that was a sign that I needed because I was worried that my skin wouldn't take like the stitches well or the tape well because I have very fragile skin. So I was so glad to hear that, to be honest. So yeah, they were like, but that also requires $200 extra. I was like, $200? Oh, okay. And they were like, also, he requires another COVID test. And I was like, oh, I just had a COVID test at the beginning of the week. You guys went with me to get that COVID test. I was like, oh, great, I gotta get another one. And that was another $100. They may pay $100 for a rapid COVID test, which I've heard isn't that accurate, but I've been COVID free, so I ain't mad about it. But I paid $300 that day unexpectedly. Thankfully, I had it in my savings because if I didn't have it, I would have been pissed as well. So, yeah, they were like, come back to the front and pay this $300 after you get your test results done in the back. And I was like, okay, cool. So the prescription lady ended up calling me before the test results lady called me, and I was like, okay, things seem to be chronologically out of order back here, but whatever. So I went to the prescription lady and she was talking to me. She was like, who's your doctor? And I was like, well, they literally just called me and told me that my doctor changed. And they were like, what? And they started speaking in Spanish like, ay, 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 ay. And I was just like, okay, they must be annoyed. But yeah, they fixed that all up and gave me my 3 different prescriptions. They gave me a volume for before surgery so I could stay calm before surgery, which I appreciated because y'all saw before surgery I was out of it. I was so I was asleep like waiting in the waiting room because I appreciate that volume because I was just chilling, like completely chilling. And Lord knows if I wasn't on that volume, I would have been like, oh my God, what's happening? I was in that waiting room like an hour before surgery, just sleep, like didn't even care. Just out of it. But thankfully they gave me that, and then they gave me oxycodone, of course for pain, and they also gave me an antibacterial. Oh no, that's not right. An antibiotic. And to be real, I didn't take all of these medicines. I took the volume. I took the oxycodone for like 2 days and the antibiotics for like 2 days, and I was done with those medicines after that because my skin was breaking out so bad. I didn't know if it was because of stress or because of medicines. So I just stopped all the medicine and just took Tylenol because I'm very familiar with Tylenol. So I was like, I don't know what y'all gave me, but no, I'm not taking that. So I just stuck to Tylenol. Of course, I think I already told y'all this. After 2 days after surgery, I just took Tylenol. I didn't take my antibiotics because my skin, it was just freaking out, and I was really stressed out because my skin, it was just not happy. So, yeah, back to the story. Pre-op, yeah, they gave me my prescriptions. After the appointment, I actually went to CVS, who couldn't honor all 3 because they didn't have all 3. So I ended up going to Walgreens for the first time, and Walgreens was able to fulfill all 3 of those prescriptions for me, which I appreciate. So maybe I'm a new Walgreens customer. I guess I am a Walgreens customer now. I don't know. This is my first time, so I guess I have a Walgreens account and a CVS account. I didn't really think about that. Anyways, so Walgreens did the job for me, thankfully, because that was another stressful part of this whole pre-op appointment because I had to get my prescriptions. This story is taking forever. But anyway, so after that, I ended up going to the next room where she did the drug test and the what did she do? She did the drug test and the COVID test, and she didn't speak any English at all. So she was like really winging it, trying to communicate with me. And she was like, "Lucy, I'm sorry, no English." And I was like, "It's okay. I know a little bit of Spanish, but I didn't feel like bringing that out the bag. I didn't want to pull it out on there." She wasn't ready for that. I was like, "It's okay." So yeah, she gave me my drug test, and I was like, "Wait, COVID test," and she was like, "Yeah." And I was just like, "Okay." So I went to the bathroom, did the drug test, and I actually did quit smoking for this surgery, and now I'm a complete drinker. I just drink, and I don't know if that's a good thing, but my job is very stressful, so I need some kind of relief. So I just drink wine. I drink a lot of wine. But anyways, so yeah, I did my drug test, and then I went to the front, and then I paid the $300 balance. And it was so annoying. When I went to the front, they were like, "What are you here for?" And I was like, "To pay my balance." Didn't y'all just call me? Like, why don't y'all know what I'm talking about? They acted so dumb, and it made me wait for 10 minutes just to pay the balance. And I'm like, no, I don't have time to sit here another 30 minutes. So after 10 minutes, I went back up there, and I was like, "Look, this is what I'm here for. I need to pay my $300 balance so I can go back to the back and get my COVID test. Like, I'm not about to sit here for another 30 minutes." And she was like, "Oh, you're the $300 person." I was like, "Yeah, I just told you that 10 minutes ago." I was starting to get very annoyed because I was like, "Bruh, don't put me through this. Like, no." But yeah, after I got them in line, I went, she was like, "Okay, you can go back to do your COVID test." So I went to the back. They were still respectful, but they were like, they just had so much going on that they couldn't even keep up with their own agendas. So, yeah, I went back to do my COVID test. It came back negative. And then after that, they were like, "Okay, you're good." And I was like, "Really? I'm good?" They were like, "Yeah, you can go." So 4 hours later, I left at 12:30, I swear. And my boyfriend had been waiting in the parking lot for an hour because I thought I was done, and then they told me they changed my surgeon, and that I had to have all these other things done. So thankfully he was patient and waiting in the parking lot for me. And so I went out there, and then that's when we went and did the pharmacy shit that I was just telling y'all about. So that's the pre-op appointment experience. It was chaotic, but I got the job done, so I'm very happy about that. Alright, so let's get into what I've experienced in the last month since the surgery. It's been 6 weeks, but since the last time I talked to y'all, you know, at 2 weeks I started sleeping on my side again. And to be honest, my surgery facility, they offered massages for like hundreds. I would say like $100 to $200 to $300. I don't remember exactly the prices, but I was like, no, I'm not paying for no massage. And because I didn't pay for a massage, they didn't give me any knowledge on what kind of massaging I was supposed to do. But thankfully, I had been researching the surgery so much that I was already familiar with different massage techniques that we are to perform after getting our boobs done. So I started doing massages after a week. I started doing the circular massages, you know, clockwise around each area. You know, when you first get your surgery, your boobs are really stiff. So I felt where exactly I needed to rub out because I didn't want scar tissue or something they call, I feel like it was called contraception or something, where your scar tissue can like build up and like your boobs would just be stiff. So I was trying to do everything possible to keep that from happening. So I would go in a circle with my Arnicare gel. I would do that at night. I do it twice a day, but I would try to massage my boobs at least 3 times a day. So I would go around the circle, and then I would massage them and try to bring them together. Because I heard one girl say that her doctor told her to try to bring your boobs together like this and like make them touch. And that can also help with them like growing apart due to scar tissue build up. So thankfully, because I did my research, I was very I feel like I was very successful in massaging because my boobs are a lot softer than they were after surgery. Yes, so I did start sleeping on my side at 2 weeks because I did research. A doctor said that he tells his patients 2 weeks is fine as long as you have a supportive bra. So yeah, I try not to sleep on one side longer than the other side because I don't want one to grow the wrong direction. So after I feel like I've slept on one side too long, I'll either lay on my back a little bit for some hours or lay on the other side for some hours. And you can kind of feel like when you've been laying on one side too long because your boobs will let you know like, hey, I'm tired of laying this way. And I was also afraid of rupturing my implants. I know the first few weeks I was so afraid of rupturing my implants. I was just like, every day I wake up like, oh my God, are they okay? And yeah, it was very nerving for me because it just felt like sleeping, it just felt weird. Some days I can actually feel the implants inside my boobs, and I'd be like, is this normal? But I know that you're supposed to feel your implants, but not like you don't. It's not like you don't feel it, but like you can feel it. It's weird to explain unless you go through it. But yeah, I don't feel it as much as I did. I would say 3 days ago I felt it a lot, and I feel like honestly it was just my human body tissue like building up around the implant, and that's what I was feeling. But right now I don't feel it as much. So I think it's just a part of the healing process. Also, my skin stretching. When your skin stretches, it kind of makes you itch, and I was worried that my skin was breaking out, but really it's just a part of your nerves just healing, and you just have to remind yourself you're healing, and that's how I got through that process. I also spray witch hazel on my skin. I spray witch hazel on my skin every day, as well as put Arnicare. I don't put Arnicare on as much as I used to. I stopped putting Arnicare on at 4 weeks post-op. So I only put it around right in here because it does help with my stretching in my skin. Because I did notice a little bit of stretch marks, but because I stopped wearing it for like 2 days, and I was like, no, I'm going to keep wearing it up here because I ain't trying to have like very visible stretch marks. So I do wear Arnicare gel up here. I put that on just once a night. So yeah, I feel that as far as my belly button scar, it only itched like the first 2 to 3 weeks, and after that I don't really feel much itching, so that's a good sign that it's actually healing. Now these whiskers sticking out, like I don't know what to do. I know my nurse, she gave me her phone number to contact her, so I might actually hit her up and ask her if I can cut some of these because I feel like it's healing pretty good. I don't know, like, are they supposed to fall out? I don't know too much about the stitches. Like, they didn't tell me what to expect with the stitches, so I'm kind of just like, okay, what do I do with these whiskers sticking out? So yeah, I hope I'm not forgetting anything. You can see clearly they have dropped really well, and they're starting to like blend like a normal boob should blend, because you know at first it was like I have not worn my breastband much. Yeah, I probably wore my best breastband like one night for like half the night, and then like 1 hour one day, and then another hour another day, and another hour. Like I didn't wear it much because it was just so painful, and like my skin is so fragile that I can't have nothing like too tight to my skin. Like it's very uncomfortable and itchy for me, and I can't take that. But I did watch a YouTube video. This one female, she was talking about how her surgeon was like, gravity, don't wear your bra. That gravity will help your boobs drop. So I feel like maybe like 5 days in the last month I wouldn't wear a bra at all, and I think that did contribute a lot to it dropping naturally. But then when my skin started showing stretch marks, I was like, no, I have to wear a sports bra. So I mean, you just gotta pay attention to your body and know what's best for you, and I feel like that has contributed a bit. I feel like sitting on this crack of this couch is making me like because it's lopsided. But yeah, the breastband thing, I spent $40 on that breastband, and I barely wore it. I hope I find another use for it. Maybe I could put it on these edges. But yeah, that's another part I wanted to mention is the breastband. So y'all can tell it went from like up here to down here, and it still looks really good. And like I said, I will post some more videos, or not videos. Oh yeah, I am gonna post another video. I think I'm gonna try to do one at 12 weeks, and 12 weeks will be what? 2.5 months. I've been drinking too much. That's 3 months. So yeah, I do one at 12 weeks, and then I'm gonna try to do one at 6 months, a year, and then maybe 18 months, and then 2 years. Keep y'all posted on what is going on here, because I am just as intrigued to find out as you guys are. So I thank y'all for tuning in so that we can do this journey together. If you guys have any comments, please comment, ask me questions. I will definitely fill you in. If y'all have questions, I will make a video before 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever I said, 12 weeks. Just let me know how you feel. Like, make sure you like this video, subscribe, click on the alert so that you can know when I add videos. I also have a video for this wig. I made this wig myself, so if you want to figure out how I made this wig, tune into that. I actually just installed it today, and I only really put makeup on Saturdays because I work from home and I don't go anywhere. So yeah, y'all can tune into what I look like without makeup. I need to get a fill in, so don't judge my nails. I've just been kind of just in my own zone with this pandemic thing going on. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all for all the love and subscribing to my channel, and I look forward to showing y'all what's coming up next. See what's about to happen next, okay? Okay, we'll see what's about to happen. See y'all later.